Hey everyone, it's me, Colin. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, but I hope you enjoy this, so sit right down and enjoy the show. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna report back to Mikey a little bit. I haven't watched all the way through his video, but I do want to talk about some things. I'm about a couple minutes left in his video, 2 minutes or so like that. So I feel like adequate enough that I can be able to answer some of the questions that he has had about it. So first thing that you talked about, Mikey, were some of the new Pokemon. That new panda bear looking thing, that fighting normal. I kind of agree with you as far as like it's just another normal dual type, like whatever, nothing special in my opinion. I feel that just gives it kind of more weak spots and things like that. It's kind of interesting though. The art with it, I kind of am not really happy. I think that's more of like a kawaii, like the style of things, and I don't really enjoy that style. It looks too, like, Pokemon is supposed to be cartoony, but I feel it's too cartoony, and it reminds me of the furries that you kind of see around where people dress up in these fursuits and go to conventions and do all this crazy weird stuff. I mean, some people, granted, some people are into that, some people do that, go for it, be my guest, but it's not something for me. The other Pokemon that you talked about was this Pikachu lookalike, the Ghost Fairy. And the reason why it looks kind of like a Pikachu is there's a reason behind it. It's a Pokemon that wanted to be a Pikachu. It's always had its whole life where it wanted to be a Pikachu. It just wanted to be a Pikachu and it didn't quite get the chance to be a Pikachu. It wasn't a Pikachu. So what it does is that's why it has this white thing over it, and it actually drew in the Pikachu features of it. It actually made that costume to cover itself up because all it wants to do is be a Pikachu. So I personally like the backstory of it. I think that's actually kind of, you know, I guess you want to say cute, and I kind of enjoy it. I think that a Ghost Fairy is really intriguing, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. I've always been into the dark and ghost type Pokemon. I think they're really good. I really enjoy them, and they don't have too much that they're weak to. They're weak to bug and fighting, and I think one other thing, but I just enjoy it. I like those types of Pokemon for whatever reason. I don't know why it is, but I just enjoy those Pokemon. That's why I'm excited to see Litten be Fire Dark. I really think Litten is going to be a Fire Dark Pokemon, and I cannot wait to see that. I'm really excited for that. Next, we're going to talk about the Salamander Pokemon. I don't know exactly what his name is. I don't really pay attention to all that stuff. I'm just more excited to see it when it comes out, not doing all this early and in-depth kind of thing. But I'm really excited. I did see it a couple of times, and I did think that it was awesome that it was Fire Poison. Poison is something that I've kind of wanted to get in, but Poison was always kind of on the weaker side. The closest one that I thought was okay was the Croaky and the Krogunk. I believe those were their names. Some Toxicroak and Krogunk. Yes, those are the closest, and those were poison fighting. And I wanted to use them, but they just weren't beefy enough or good enough to be able to use in, you know, within the game. So I'm kind of glad that they bolstered this poison type with fire, and I do agree with you that it is going to be multiple evolutions. I do believe that it's going to have hopefully 3. I'm hoping that it has 3 or 2 more evolutions. I think that's really exciting. I want that to happen, just because I think it'll be another kind of crocodile type evolution chain with a dark ground, alligator type looking. It's Sandile and then Crocodile and then Crocodile or something like that. Something like that. I think that's really cool. I like it. So I'm excited to see something like that again. Next, you're talking about Pokemon Go. So there's a couple of things that you talked about that I know that can be easily fixed. As far as like the gyms going, I do kind of understand. The same thing goes with NIU. There are some high-level Pokemon there. But generally, as long as you can defeat the lowest level, like you were looking at the top one, which, yeah, okay, those ones are generally going to be really high. However, the lower ones you can look. If you can beat the lower ones, you still bring down that gym's prestige a little bit, and you still get some experience. So it's not necessarily about the highest level, it's about if you can beat the prestige and bring the prestige down. So as long as you defeat one or a couple of Pokemon, it brings the prestige down a lot, or a little. So then once you bring the prestige down to 0, then you can actually take the gym. And that's something that I have a qualm with the game, but I'll get to that in a second. Next thing you're talking about, you don't know how people get these high-level Pokemon. Well, that's simple. If you have a 10k egg, those will give you the highest level Pokemon possible. They'll give you rare Pokemons, and then they'll give them also really high CPs. So for instance, that Snorlax that you saw that had 1200, well, it probably could have hatched as an 1100 or something like that, and then it automatically gets some random amount of candies, so for instance 10 or something like that, and then if you hoard your dust, you can keep leveling up that Snorlax until it's super powerful like it was that you saw. So that's a little bit of that. Generally, eggs give you really high CP Pokemon anyway. For instance, I just hatched a Slowpoke, and I've been going around kind of catching some Slowpoke around NIU. But the one that I hatched was like a 387 or something like that. It was really high. I haven't seen it in a really, like, anything close to that. So it's all about those eggs. So basically just grind those eggs out as much as you can. Like, go on walks and everything like that. Second thing I want to talk about, I do enjoy all the people that are going out and playing Pokemon Go. I go out late at night. People are away at midnight. People put on lures on a couple of spots where there's a bunch of Pokestops and they sit around and stuff like that. It's really cool. And I've even told people before I went somewhere and I was like, oh, I caught a Geodude and a Sandshrew, and then everyone left the Pokestops to go catch those Pokemon. It was awesome. Even downtown, there was a Lapras that just randomly appeared, and everyone just left the one area and went to the other area in downtown to catch this Lapras. And I've heard that the more people you have in an area playing the Pokemon Go, then the more likelihood of a rare Pokemon with a high CP of appearing, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. I think that's awesome. That's why I hear places like Six Flags has a lot of high-level rare Pokemon. Same thing, for instance, somewhere in Chicago, like they're having this weekend, I believe that's coming up, is that there's going to be a Pokemon get-together at Millennium Park in Chicago. So the more people that show up, the more likelihood of rare Pokemon's going to appear, which is awesome. The next thing I want to talk about is trading. I'm excited for trading. I think trading is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be more of like the GTS. So it's going to be like you put up a Pokemon and then someone else sees it like, oh, hey, look, this person is giving away this Pokemon. He wants to trade for this. So then what happens is then you say, all right, I want to trade. This is the Pokemon I want to trade you. And then the person that originally made that trade has to look and say, oh, okay, yeah, I want to do this trade. And then it goes. So I think that's kind of going to be the way that it's going to be going. I think that's really interesting. I enjoy that. But then again, I think that the market's going to be flooded with people that want unrealistic Pokemon. They want, a CP 1300 Jolteon or something like that. It's possible to do it. And then they're going to be giving away a Paris for 300. So that's something that you got to be careful of and watch out for. And that's something that I hope that they can fix a little bit, where if you're putting up a CP 300 Pokemon, you can only get somewhat similar. Oh, and speak of the devil, I just have a couple of Pokemon. I don't know if you heard that, but I do have some Pokemon. I have it open right now, hoping that some Pokemon will appear. I have a Rattata and a Weedle, and that's kind of something that I want to change, is because I keep seeing a lot of the same Pokemon. And I'm a little over it right now. I have a bunch of Raticates, a bunch of Pidgeys, and I know I give them away. I transfer them and everything like that and hoping for something strong, but, and it's hard for me to go far. That's my issue. I don't want to go far to be able to find new and interesting Pokemon. Last but not least, I want to talk about one qualm that I do have about the game, and that is pertaining to the gyms, and that is in regards to puppy guarding. So I was late at night, we were walking around NIU campus, and we went to McDonald's, and right next to the McDonald's there was a gym. So me and my buddies, we were fighting the gym and everything like that, and we beat the gym. We brought the gym down to 0 prestige so we could put a Pokemon in. But we wanted to put in a strong Pokemon, so we kind of went back and healed our Pokemon that were damaged from the gym battle. But in the time of us doing it, the guy that had his top tier Pokemon in there put in another top tier Pokemon that we had to go in and battle again. So then we're like, all right, whatever. Like, people are cheeky like that sometimes and slip in a Pokemon. We've done it before where someone's fighting a gym. It's like Team Valor is fighting a Mystic gym, and I'm Team Instinct. So then they beat the Mystic gym, and we slide in really quick and throw in a Team Instinct Pokemon, one of ours, and it becomes a yellow gym instead of a red gym, and they get a little upset, and fair enough. But when someone sits there and puppy guards a gym, so for the second time, we defeated this gym again. We're like, all right, we'll put it in. And again, he put that first Pokemon he had in there, put it in again. So he kept doing that. He kept just sitting at the gym, and every time someone would take it down, he'd put one of his Pokemon in. And it was not really easily, he had really high Pokemon, really high CP. They're both over 1,000, 1,200, something like that. And that just really upsets me, is that you can just slide in like that and keep putting in your Pokemon if you sit at your gym. That's really frustrating. And I think that Pokemon needs to fix that somehow, some way, of when you defeat a gym, it goes to the person who defeated it. So, for instance, if I'm fighting a Team Mystic gym, and I beat the Mystic gym, Team Instinct is the only one that can put a Pokemon in there for, a little bit. And then instead of some Team Valor person or Team Mystic coming in, and as soon as we beat the gym, they can put their Pokemon in. That's something that I think they need to fix a little bit. Or if you bring the gym down full to 0 prestige, is you can then all your Pokemon get healed right away, and then you can put your Pokemon in right away, and you don't have to heal them. That's something that I think that they should definitely look into, because again, puppy guarding gyms is somewhat of an issue here. I mean, it takes a certain type of personality to be a jerk and do that. So he's not looked upon favorably, but then again, we don't know who it was. We know his name, so we know whenever we face a gym, we can say, oh, it's this guy again. So it's something that you got to be careful. Like I said, there's a couple ideas that I threw out there for puppy guarding and everything like that. Make it that you can't battle it for a minute or two or something like that, or fully heal your Pokemon or something similar to that. And I think that will really help the gym system go along. As far as doing the gyms, yes, it's going to be difficult, because there are going to be some hardcore people, and there's going to be some casual people like Mikey and I. We're casual. So that's something that you need to kind of get over a little bit. I mean, you can defeat some of their lower Pokemon and get some experience for that, and then lower their prestige, and then hope someone from your team with bigger, badder Pokemon come in and kind of knock it down a little bit more. Last but not least, I got to talk about how how long this is going to go. How long is this fad going to go for? And as of right now, I kind of am already feeling it, of slogging through it and getting a little slow. I'm level 15 right now, and I've caught a lot of the Pokemon and seen a lot of the Pokemon that NIU has to offer around here. So most of it's very similar. I've already caught all of them, majority of them. So now right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this low level Pokemon to be able to transfer them and get candies for it, so then I can evolve some of the higher level. For instance, I want to get a Haunter. I haven't seen a Haunter. Other people have seen a Haunter, and they've evolved them. I don't have enough Ghastly candies for a Haunter. I have a high level Ghastly that I want to go into a Haunter, but again, it's taking some time, and I gotta grind it. And then for people, I feel like the casual people, they're gonna stop really quickly, because you can only catch so many Pokemon as of right now, and the gyms are just too difficult, and it's not fun unless you do it with a couple of other people with it. For instance, me, Team Instinct, not a lot of people are Team Instinct. For right now, I mean, I've been seeing quite a few Team Instinct people, but wait until the school year starts, and then I feel you're going to see a lot more red and blue teams coming in, and Team Instinct is just going to be outnumbered. So taking a gym with more people is more fun, but again, trying to find those people, is going to be a little bit harder. And I think people are going to get bored with it. I feel some people are already bored with it, because I used to go on walks all the time and get the Pokestops, and now I haven't been as much. Granted, my schedule is pretty busy, but I also think once they get new Pokemon, oh, it's just a Weedle. Once they introduce new Pokemon, because I do know that they're going to release new generations every so often. So I think for maybe at least another month, 2-3 months, somewhere around there, then they're going to release the next generation of Pokemon, and then Johto Pokemon are going to be released. So I think that's going to be really interesting. My issue is what's the CP going to be like? Are they going to be low CP again, and you need to level up? Because the higher you level, the higher CP Pokemon you see in the wild, which is awesome. Because now you're not catching level 18 Weedles anymore, CP Weedles anymore. You're seeing a little bit higher Weedles and stuff like that. Same thing with the Rattatas, and that's really cool. That's really interesting. But again, if they do another Johto, when they introduce Johto, are you gonna be finding, level 15 Totodiles and stuff like that? What are they gonna do with that? Or are they gonna reset your levels and everything like that? Or are they just not? When the Johto Pokemon are introduced, are they going to get rid of all the original Pokemon and say, okay, now it's just Johto Gen 2 Pokemon that's going to be appearing? Or is it going to be a mix between them? Like, how is that going to go? How is that going to work? I'm curious about that. So I can't wait to see what they have going on. But those are kind of my concerns and issues that I have with the game. Otherwise, I do enjoy that it's bringing a lot of people together and going out and doing these things. But I personally, as far as the casual gamers, I don't see the game being entertaining for that much longer. I think give it another month and people are just going to be like, okay, well, I'm tired of catching Pidgeys and Rattatas. I'm done with the game and I don't really want to explore. So I think I'm going to give it a month. One more month, and then people are just going to be like, Pokemon what? Pokemon Go? Oh yeah, I played that for a couple of weeks, but I deleted it off my phone. And then I think it's going to be a lot of delete and re-add and re-download. They're going to say, someone's going to delete it, and then someone's going to say, oh look, there's a rare Pokemon, an Onix or a Lapras or something like that. And then they'll say, oh, I deleted Pokemon Go. Wait, let me download it real quick again so I can catch this Pokemon. So I think that's kind of something that may happen, of that people are just going to delete it because it's taking up room on their phone, and then they're going to re-download it when they hear a rare Pokemon, and then they're going to get into it for a couple of days, and then they're just going to delete it again. Something that I think may happen. Alright, so that's all the time that I have today for my video. I hope you enjoyed some of the things that I went over. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and like button down below. If you like some of our content, I know we've been kind of spotty with posting it, but I hope you stick with us. Once the school year starts, I think that we'll be posting more videos. I'll definitely be able to post more videos, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more content, and I will see you later.